And we are live. So welcome everyone to the last video blog of the course Applied IoT at Linnaeus. This has been a fun ride, hasn't it?
Yes, it was fun for everyone, especially our TAs.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And Jim, you are also with us, and you have. I invited you as a special guest for this final vlog because you have been so valuable. You have not been a teacher in the course, but you are almost acted as one, like anyway, because you have been doing so much in the course, helping people out with hardware and such. So,
thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Yeah. So just I know that you have gotten some feedback already in the Discord server, but I say it once again so everyone hears it. Thank you very much, Jim. This has been so valuable for us in the course, and so I really hope that we can maybe do it even better next year. We always strive to be better. So.
Oh, yeah.
And by that, I don't mean it was any bad this year. I'm just saying that.
No, of course not. I believe we did it better this year. Last year, and I believe we did it. There is a lot of improvement still.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
Yes, maybe I can start with some overall statistics. I haven't gotten any specific questions, so if there are any questions or comments, just leave them in the Discord channel, live lecture questions, and someone will pick them up. But the agenda for today is more a general wrap-up of the course. And I know that you haven't gotten your grades just yet. So those that are waiting for getting their grade, it won't happen until next week. Today is, as we said, the final hard deadline for the first round of projects. So those of you that have handed in your projects, done all the quizzes, done all the peer reviews, done everything in time and in order, this is sort of the last day until you had, well, if you had any comments that you wanted to change or do something. So after today, we will start looking at all the tutorials a bit more in detail. But I know that Mehdi, which is one of the TAs you haven't met, he has probably looked at many already. I think he's preparing this on a separate sheet Excel document, but you will be getting some like official feedback next week, starting next week, and those I might mention that those of you that didn't submit in time, that let's say that you submitted by mistake 2 or 3 days later, you are probably going to be starting your process next week. And why we have waited with that, it's a simple explanation. It's because of the peer reviews. We want to have a certain amount of students that are in the process together. It doesn't make much sense if you're doing a peer review on yourself. So that's sort of the reason. So we will be starting that process after this week. So if you haven't submitted your tutorial yet at all, or if you, well, there is still a chance. Just submit it, do all the quizzes, and we will process you during the upcoming weeks. And rather than saying any deadlines or so, I'm saying do it as soon as possible, and we'll start processing as soon as we get a certain amount of people in one batch. And I would say that at least 6 or 7, so we can have like some kind of peer review. So please just hand in your work, and you will be getting your grade a little bit later, but that's more or less it. You won't be getting a lower grade. You just will be getting it a bit later. So in total,
I will open the new submission dates. I think the current submission dates are set as August 13th, so that's today.
Yeah.
So
But if you haven't done your peer review, if you haven't done your quizzes, well, it's really the time to do it now if you want to have your grade in LADOC. If you don't care about that, well, you don't have to care about the deadline either. But in total, we've had, I did some short statistics. The numbers might not be like 100% accurate. It depends on how you count, but there are in the playlist 39 streams/lectures. So in terms of material, this is not the usual amount of lectures for a 7.5 credit course. I would say that it's about 3 to 4 times as much as you can expect for a normal university course. Note that, as you know, you can skip most of them and it's fine anyway. But in terms of material, we have actually a lot of material in this course. Everything is open, which is something that we will still keep it open. And rest assured that the next year if we keep this course, we will update everything with even new and better material, and that will be open too. So please, well, keep yourself around. We've had more than 70, that's a T, shouldn't be there, 70 hours-ish. Oh, that was not good. My coffee. If you take the helm, Francis, for just 1 minute, I'm going to fetch some paper.
Yeah, no problem.
Happens to all of us.
I guess that by 70 you meant 70 hours, not 70 workshops, right, Eric?
70 hours, yeah, I think. So
because I think there was mentioned something about 70, but then
yeah, it's not. Yeah, so it is amount of hours. Yeah, probably. I think something like that. At least more than that, somehow. Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think I don't see all the figures that were.
Yeah, sorry. I just spilled coffee over all my stuff here. Sorry for the mess, but I'm not sure what happened now.
Okay, so basically I think that is the plan.
This seems to be messed up. Did I do that now when I spilled my coffee, or?
Press Control Z if it comes back.
Yeah.
I think the coffee has messed up all the electrons.
Yeah, the thing is that I got coffee in my keyboard, so maybe if you things are happening at my screen and everything. So Francis, if you can share that that document instead, maybe it's better.
No, I'm still in the HackMD, but I'm looking at some.
It should be the video.
That is about a number of messages per user that was contributed in the course. Let me share my screen. So I guess the winner is, again, in this case, is Frederick, sending more than 1,400 messages on Discord. And the second winner is also with us. That is Eric, right? Eric? More than, so close to 1,100 messages on Discord overall.
See,
Yes?
I fixed so it's back now to normal as before.
Okay. I don't know what magic you did,
Yeah.
but yes, I think I was in the right statistics. So there was more than 10,000 messages on Discord, on an average 100 messages per day. And also on Discord, we had thousands of minutes of workshops in terms of audio, video, and other forms. But for the individual contribution, Frederick, Eric, and David are the winner. Oh, I'm also on the number 10, so I'm not out of the list.
Yeah. Francis, can you share your screen when you...
But you don't see my screen?
Oh, no. Now we do, I think.
Okay, it's me that's sharing the screen now. So sorry. I think the coffee is out from the keyboard and everything seems to be in order now. So I've been drinking coffee all the time during this course, but now I accidentally spilled full cup. Okay, but we have.
So I was in the messages that was placed on Discord, and the figures that you shared.
Yeah, so I can. We had about 147,000 minutes in audio video. That is super interesting because it's 2,400 hours, and this is from April. So I think I started like 20th of April until now. The statistics is updated quite recently, and that's also note including AFK. So if there are probably a lot of these hours are people that are just sitting around and not have forgotten that they are in a in a meeting. But it's pretty cool, isn't it? That it's more than a full work year in hours. Is it like 2,000 hours is a full work year ish? Just during a couple of weeks during the summer that people have joined in for like live workshops. And you have handled most of that, Eric.
Yeah.
So those hours, that's your work.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah. And then we had now Monday until Wednesday, as this is the final week. We did have 22 presentations. I hope I counted them correct. But so for opting in for a higher grade. And I must say that if you're looking now and you missed the presentations, well, please take a look at them. They are unlisted links, so they are not public. So you should at least, everyone that joined in should feel like a little bit safe in that matter. But obviously, as it is an unlisted link, you are able to share it with someone. And I've said it before, please do it with some kind of caution. So it's, I've already did the mistake. I was, some student noticed it a couple of days ago that I accidentally put one of these links in our playlist. And then because the playlist is a public playlist, the link was at least shown in that playlist. I don't think anyone should worry too much. The link is still unlisted. So 750 applicants plus. I don't remember the exact amount, but there was a lot of people that applied for the course. We submit about 400 students were admitted, not submitted. Sorry, admitted to the course, and we've had. I think we started out with about 200 active students. I based that assumption on Jim, because I think you sold about 200 kits, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that
we. Oh, sorry.
No, I think that even more than 200, because a lot of the students, many of them haven't been using PyCom devices. So.
I think we shipped about 197 this year. Last year we shipped 200, but last year you bought some. This year I don't think you did. and this year a lot of previously used kits were sold in the buy and sell section of Discord. So I would say that more students have kits this year than last.
Yeah. So that's interesting. And there are now 156 reports handed in if you look at Canvas. So, and I think that's a pretty good number. That means that we have had 156, probably even more, because there might be people that have started working on their projects and not handed in their tutorial, but about 200 IoT projects all over Sweden, Europe, and well, some also probably from. I think that we have one student from somewhere in the continent of Africa. I don't remember from my head now which country, but yeah, we have students not all over the world, but mainly all over Europe, I would say. So that's really interesting. And
so also one thing, Frederick, I think I forgot to mention, or we forgot to mention, is that, I mean, we had 22 presentations for the higher grade groups, but then there might be people also, I mean, that are going to submit in the second round. So they also might have some people who wants to get higher grade, right? And in that case,
so there might be more, and I mean, if you've done a really good project, and also if you want a higher grade, you need to say. If you don't say anything, if you have a really good project, but if you don't say that you want a higher grade, you will still be getting a C. So that's because you need to fulfill the presentation part in order to get a higher grade. So but that's totally fine as well. I'm just saying, maybe many people don't care about the exact grade, and I can be honest to say that I don't think it matters very much in the overall. It's obviously always nice to get a high grade, but I don't think it will be the factor when you're applying for a job if you have an A or a C. It's more what you know and what you can produce. So I think the project itself, if you've done a really good project, that itself is like the validation, I would say. That is something that you can show on your CV, or so. The grade is more something that we need to do. That we need to give you a grade. Yeah. And then we've had guests and teachers from a lot of places, and I think this is at least what I think has been really one of the most fun things, to have so many people in the course. And I would say that most of them, not everyone, but most of them have also been invited and at least sort of a little bit active in our Discord. So everyone has been able to at least ask a question to one of the guest lecturers. So we have ETCP, Valencia, Bremen, Boston, Lund, Amsterdam, San Francisco, Münster, London, Skövde, and Stockholm. And to be honest, I'm not sure if these were sitting in Stockholm or not, but I think
it's in Stockholm.
Yeah. And then our fantastic teaching assistants, Erik, which has been sort of the head of the TAs. You've been also all over the place. So from Örebro, that's where you are, Erik, and Umeå, Karlstad, Lund, LTH, and Chalmers, and of course we have two from Linnaeus University as well. So yeah, also not the ordinary way of doing things. Usually you employ teaching assistants from your own university, but as I want to keep this course and do it bigger, we should include as many as possible, because then when you really can do great things. So I'm saying this now, and I will probably post a notification later on, maybe not this week, but maybe later on. But we will need to have TAs for the next year. So if you think this is fun, and if you want to be as cool as Eric is, well, join in. And if you're working as a TA, you will get paid for having fun. And how cool isn't that? Am I right, Eric?
In a way, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you like this, it will be fun. If you don't like it, then it won't be fun.
No.
or if you like to talk with people and like help someone, then even if you don't like the subject, still it will be fun.
Yeah. I think it's working as a TA in this course probably gives you a lot of new contacts and networks and opportunities. So for everyone, because what we are doing in this course is also we are like reaching out to the industry as much as we can, and well, it's a good place to be if you want to know new people and create your own network. So. Some statistics. People might have wondered that there are some bots in our Discord channel, and we haven't really mentioned these bots before, have we? Or
no?
But there is a bot called StatBot, and it's that bot's only purpose is to create statistics, hence its name. But it really maybe isn't fair that it took me and Eric as we should probably excluded ourselves, because obviously a lot of these messages I've sent is from, I think this is like total for the server, so this includes also the last year and such. But you can see here that the TAs are obviously in the top. But you can see here that we have a couple of...
Some students, yeah.
Yeah, some students that have been very active. And if you want to look at these ranks, I'll share the document with you later on. One interesting thing is that if you look at the channels which have been the most active, there is a channel which is unknown for everyone else than the TAs. It's called Workshop Admin. And that's where you have done most of the legwork, planning, discussing, and so everyone that is watching now and has been a student in the course, the most active channel has been the Workshop Admin channel, which maybe gives you an impression, like a lot of the things has been happening behind the scenes. And I've seen that, Eric, you said that, oh, we need help in this channel. And please, does someone know how to know MQTT? And you're helping each other out and, well, organizing everything. And this has worked, I would say, really, really good. I would say the leadership by like distributed leadership, or I'm not sure how to say it, but there hasn't been anyone that has been pointed with their big hand and saying that you should do this and this. I think that everything has happened just because everyone wants to contribute and help as much as possible.
Yeah, it really was because like we had this dynamic that it was about. It wasn't that, hey, do this thing. It was much more about, hey, what can we do to make this good? Like that. And then people chime in and they made the thing happen.
Yeah.
Like tutorials and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have students that have contributed to tutorials as well, at least for the peer review, I know, but I guess that even other tutorials you've gotten feedback on. And
yeah, absolutely. Both feedback. So this was really like one of the key things we did with the tutorials. We really asked people to give us tons of feedback, both on the tutorials that we had, and HackMD helped a lot, because HackMD has this ability to comment on the tutorial. So it was like a lab report where you can, if something is confusing, you can just say, "Oh, I don't understand this. What are you talking about? Oh shit, we wrote this a bit weird. How? Let's try to make it better. This thing." And also like that we had the ability to instantly change for everyone at the same time. So it's not a PDF. Yeah. And then we send another PDF. And which PDF is the current one? Like he updated the PDF, which one is it? No, HackMD does the job. So it's like, wow, that's very nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. And also like after each workshop, we, at least for the first half of the workshops, we asked the students to give us feedback on Menti. And this allowed us to give anonymous feedback. So students can like tell us what they're really feeling about the workshop. And we got tons of feedback, like things that, it didn't feel like this was good. I don't like Discord, this way it's confusing. And like, okay, cool. Let's do something. What can we improve? So it was really that what suggestions do we have? Okay, we try this. And many times we got feedback, and then immediately, like in the morning, we got feedback from students like, okay, what can we do to make this better? And in the evening, we made changes. So like immediately, like this, I'd say in software engineering, it's called agile approach, how we develop through the agile methodology. I think we kind of had that when we did the workshops. We really was. And that's what we used, like this mindset to really like ask for feedback. What can we do better? And exploring also what works and what doesn't work. So testing this, this didn't work. Nobody we had this work together channels, like people can work together. So like we made people are gonna work together. So we made like 5 of those. And like nobody, like one student was alone in the work together. Like nobody wanted to work together. Everyone wanted to either work alone or get help, basically, with the project. So yeah,
that's really interesting. And you can see here also that chat with ElectroKit. It's been a pretty active channel as well. And this is the voice channels, I think, basic setup, etc. There's a heat map. Maybe someone wants to dive into this later on, but you can see here. I know it's pretty small here, but this is the voice and the minutes here. And you can see the spikes here are the workshops that have been done. And you can see a falling trend. So there's a lot of activity in the beginning, and then it's falling. But also you can see that they are pretty wide here in the middle. So maybe there's less people at the time, but more happening during a longer period of time. So there's probably a lot of digging one can do in this statistics that could even help us do it better next year in terms of planning, I would say. So how to actually do the workshops in the most effective way. Maybe we didn't do it the best way. We did it as best we could. So, and this is the voice minutes, and I'm sure that those that are in the top here might have also been in the AFK channel a lot. I don't know, but so they might not be representative. So, and there is the rank, and yeah, you can see here that this is the voice channels. So you can take away 28,000 minutes from the statistics above for the AFK. I think that everyone ends up in the AFK if you haven't said or done anything for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But silent work, 12,000 minutes.
Yeah.
And the purpose of silent work, what's that? Please explain.
So it's like, when you're in class, like you even if you aren't like working with other people, you're still sitting next to other people working with the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the idea. Like people can be in the workshop without having to hear any distractions. They can just focus on reading the tutorial and working on the project alone. And when they feel, oh, I'm stuck here, I can jump into a Get Help channel, get some help, and then go back. And some other students prefer to just be more interactive and talk more with other people as well. But
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because you could say that, I mean, instead of a silent work channel, you could have like no channel. I mean, but it's the point is that you're still like showing that you're working. So it's like a signal that okay, I'm working. I don't want to be disturbed, but I am working on the tutorial. So
yeah. I think that's kind of how a brain works. Like if we weren't in, if I was a student and I wasn't in a silent work channel, I would be in my normal mode. I would probably get distracted, watch some Netflix instead. But if I'm actually in silent work channel, I'm telling myself I am now in my work mode, so I should focus on working on my project.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And this is, I think this channel like came up. We didn't plan this channel in beforehand.
Yeah.
This was something that came up, I guess.
Yeah, we got some feedback about that and we implemented it. And yeah.
It's really interesting. And then there is, you put this statistics, the levels, that might be the most representative statistics. Could you tell us about these statistics, Erik?
Well, so this is messages. What it does is it measures the messages for time span. So how many minutes basically you're active messaging. And for that you get experience points, and that determines your level, so to speak. So in general, the more active you are messaging, the higher level you got. And I think most people notice that they're pinged, congratulations, you're level 1, you're level 2, you're level 3. Jim, how was your experience with that?
It was kind of confusing and also great. I loved it. I just wonder who's on number 7 there right now.
Yeah, look at number 7. Scroll down. Frederick.
Is it Zim?
Can you scroll down, Frederick?
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Jim.
I should have gotten a picture. No, but the level system was kind of cool. You wrote something and you got a message. Oh, you have reached level 5 or 6, and I had no idea what gave me a level. So it was always
awesome.
a nice surprise when I.
Nice.
So yeah, I like.
Nice.
It's you get the experience. Let's see what we can do with bots next year. I think I had some ideas on. We didn't implement everything, so maybe we can talk about that. But we don't want it to end up as negative critique in the feedback, because we said we did something and we didn't do it. But we had the idea of contacting everyone personally. We didn't really do that as the way we thought. It was a bit more time consuming than I thought, actually. And then maybe we should have automated using bots some of the things. Maybe for the workshops, if you need help, then maybe you could use a bot for a ticket system, or there are so many things that you can do with like programming and just creating a bot for Discord is relatively easy. I would say the hard part is to know what you're going to do with the bot. So actually,
yeah.
So, but maybe we will develop that during the time. But so far, all the bots that we have used is like these ready-to-use bots we have invited to the channel. Yeah. So
big shout out to Mohammed. He's our bot expert. He actually programmed some bots to get some, like to automate when you are your onboarding role. So that was a bot that did all of that. He wrote it. It was really cool. Yeah. That's one thing we did that really.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So, but I think that's, I mean, in terms of like the overall statistics and I know that Erik, you did prepare something, or do you want to share a screen, or do you think that you?
I kind of shared like at least 70% of what I was during especially when I was talking a long while. I was like, oh, now it's my chance. I can say everything I wanted to say. But yeah, one thing I wanted to say as well is that the thing we did, the most important part of this whole process, of this workshop process, was the team. So like the way we used the workshop was, agile. We did this thing, we tested this thing, and then we evaluated. And I believe a teacher can benefit from that as well, having this mindset and methodology. But like working in a team like we did, like 8 TAs, made it even better, because we did not only get input from the students, we also got input from each other. So we thought, oh, how about this? How about that? And that really, having this thing and talk back and forth with 8 people, and all of them are like really talented and really like feeling that it's important. That really made the thing happen so good, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I must say that I've said it before, but I'm so impressed by the team. I think that's the best thing of this course, and we've seen so far that the course feedback we have gotten, the formal course feedback will be sent out by mail to your university student mail, and that will likely be next week or so. I'm actually, it's not me that's sending this out; it's automated, but there is some, like, I would say, like informal feedback, or we created a channel for that. And those that have left feedback so far, well, it seems that the common factor is the TAs that have been fantastic, I would say. So what you're talking about, Erik, is I agree. It worked very well. I think it was a really good way of organizing a course. I left you, I mean, you got very much free hands on doing things. I wasn't poking around very much in what you were doing, so and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's because
that's good. That's good if you have a good team, I think. I don't if nobody of us cared, I think that would be the worst thing you could do. But because we all cared, that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah. So in terms of work, one thing I wanted to just raise is that we had early on there was some people in the course that said that, oh, I rather prefer Slack, and why are we using Discord, and why aren't we using Canvas or my Moodle or whatever platform. But that was very early into the course, and I think everyone got an answer, and I think I did my best on explaining our reasons. But since then, I haven't heard a single thing. I haven't seen anything. So what's your impression of using Discord, Erik, for this kind of course?
I think it's really good, in my opinion. It helps. It's especially good for digital workshops, in my opinion. We did not feel that we were hindered in any way by having this digital instrument. Even I could even see this being better than a real life workshop, except for like the physical, teaching someone the physical, how to wire and stuff. That's, you cannot replicate that, but the dynamics, the social dynamics in the digital environment was perhaps better than it would be in real life, because it's so easy to switch rooms. It's so easy to jump around and find and going to know exactly what topics are discussed in which room and where to get help. So
So you're saying that as if you have the student perspective, I'm like thinking about not only the course, but even like for the normal teaching. If you're a campus student and you're doing this kind of course, you're saying that maybe Discord should be like a good way of doing workshops or labs, even if you're on campus, or
Yeah, perhaps.
yeah. I will have to explore that.
Perhaps,
Even
yeah, perhaps alongside because it's really difficult to replicate when you're showing something like this course is very, with your hands, and I think the teaching with your hands and showing someone like the physical stuff that should be kept, but the rest, the dynamics, somehow should be. Maybe there's a merge. Maybe there's a sweet spot in between there. But yeah. But for things like, I think, web programming or anything that's 100% digital, Discord is the way, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and also let's see. I mean, the next year we don't know what will happen yet. If the course will be both on campus and online, or we'll see.
Yeah, there might be. I mean, we started this course when we wrote the first syllabus. This was even more than 2 years ago. The original idea was to have a campus course. That was the original idea. But then Corona made us change direction, which was really good because we ended up with something much better. And if we're, as you say, Eric, maybe if we go back to campus, it will still be a distance course or a hybrid. Or, I mean, if you try to combine these things together, maybe you can maybe that's the next step.
Yeah.
How can we do this in a hybrid way and really use the best of everything for everything? Yeah. Jim, well, you had. I mean, I invited you to talk a little bit about like your part in the course and like statistics. You mentioned that you had. Well, was it 197?
Seven.
Yeah.
So yeah, 197 chipboard. I just want to make a shout out to the. They were even in my channel answering shipping questions sometimes, which impressed me very much.
Yeah.
So well done, PA. Absolutely. Sometimes I was writing a message and the answer just poked up, and you're too quick for me. Yeah. No statistics. So here's the fun part. We changed our ERP between shipment 1 and shipment 2. So none of the statistics were at all. But I know it's 197 because there are 3 left lying in a box. Or it was when I was last about it. And I think we have about, you asked about returns, and I think we have about 2 broken boards each year, which is about 1%, which is a lot actually, more than comparable boards. But here's the interesting part is we accept a return if you as TA say that it's faulty, and the return process is a little too complicated to make it worthwhile because it's the expansion boards that breaks, not the main cards. So it would cost us probably more to get a replacement than not. So if you say it's broken, we trust you TAs and we ship out a new one to the student. Following the full process would be, well, not only expensive, but it would probably not arrive until the end of the course. That's not fun for anyone. So it can be, since you're doing it by distance and we're not really double checking it as we should, it could be that the percentage is low. Because this is it's a very time sensitive course. You can't really tell people to wait too long, because then the course is over. And that's one of the interesting things about it. Actually, it needs to move at a certain pace, and the world around it isn't moving at that pace as it should, or as I want it to do. And that's the fun challenge.
Yeah.
Stats. I know, like stats. I don't have too much stats, to be honest, but I think we have, one of the fun things is that I think we have 3 regular students from last year that we know placed our first order during this course. And sometimes you get a phone call or a question about an order, and you look at the previous orders while you're at it. You see, oh, the first order was the LNU kits, and that's always fun to see that they were recruited by this channel. So it's also fun for me, because a lot of your students are extremely motivated, unusually motivated, I have to say, to build something cool. And we get a lot of questions both in the chat and also through email, basically asking, how can I do this? And it's a huge thing, and you have to maybe say, well, take it in steps. If you do it all, it will be expensive, and we're not really that sure how everything works. So build on it, and sometimes the project isn't realized in full, which probably is for the better, considering again the time constraint. But the motivation to actually build things is what I have reacted on both years, that students want to build things, they want to get their sensors and things, and they want to get built, and that's really cool.
Yeah, and also that is, I mean, we have when we're talking about levels of complexity and hardware and where to put, like where on the ladder should we be in this kind of course, because there is hardware that is perhaps easier. I know that, for instance, PyCom is developing their own, like sensors which you can just click in with, like and Arduino, they have similar things, I think. And I mean, you have these, like, maybe more ready to use things, that instead of a DHT11 sensors, and then you have to scratch your head on which is the plus or minus or whatever, and you need to import a library, and there are easier ways to do things. But I think that, at least I think, and please, if you're listening in now and if you have feedback on this, I'm happy to hear it. But I think that learning this way makes it much easier to take your hands on a more, like, if you have a ready to use solution. If you buy a LoRaWAN sensor that looks like this, I mean, it's cheaper to buy one directly. It's 30 euros, and you get temperature and humidity right out, but you can't do much more. And you've never learned how things works inside. And we're still not developing hardware. We're still using sort of, I would say relatively easy hardware, but we're skipping the C++ part. We're going directly to MicroPython. So personally, I think this is what makes people more interested in things. If you make it too easy, this was all. I see my temperature here on the screen, and there wasn't a challenge at all. But if you have struggled 10 hours getting that sensor to work, well, then you're happy when it works.
Yeah, and I think if you're using the I'm not a big fan of the standard connectors that a lot of companies are starting up, because, as you say, when you buy your microcontroller board, whatever it is, and then you have a certain set of sensors and a certain sense of whatever. If you're just using jumper cables, you can use basically anything that's voltage compatible, and you learn, and also you can connect, and I think that's important. And I also like the again, the TAs made a excellent job helping the students knowing what to get, because it's not always easy to know everything about everything. But a lot of the sensors we could make sure these will work and they won't destroy you. And I think if we haven't had the good interaction with the TAs, then we would probably more often said, no, this probably won't work because it's the safer route. You don't want to destroy the board because it's really, really boring. Yeah, it's a really great work for everyone.
So we'll probably see more things, maybe with ElectroKit next year. I say maybe because we always need to discuss the details before we start, but that might be happening. So yeah, probably. Yeah. And do we have anything more that we want to, say before we end?
I can quickly go through the stats on quiz.
You had also some stats. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, nice.
No, it's a quick look at the stuff. Let me see if I can share my screen.
Where are you now, Francis? You're not in Kalmar anymore. You're in...
I am in Copenhagen now.
Okay.
And tonight, basically tomorrow, very early morning at 5 o'clock, I'm flying to Nice.
Sounds good. So your vacation starts now, Francis?
Not really vacation. I will be with you for some grading stuff next week in the evenings maybe. But it's just for a break that I wanted to have after this long shot. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, now we can see it.
So we had 4 quizzes, and the objective of the quizzes was not really to judge anyone or to filter anyone. It's more about giving more information, and so that you can get to know some theoretical part of what you were doing as an applied project. So for the quiz 1, it was more about IoT basics, where we had 218 people participated, and basically all of them finished and passed with an average score of 87. And as you can see, we also have very low standard deviation. That means majority of the people are around this 1.5 points away from this average score. So 87, that is, so it's a good start, I would say. And last year we also had similar quiz setup, and this year we observed people got more score or higher score basically than last year. And also from the graph, as you can see, this is the most common scores that you got, like, since the average score is 87, so it's quite a good score. So this 218 was our baseline numbers for this course, and then we found that in that quiz 2, 91% basically of that baseline number participated. I guess only one probably did not pass, but you always had multiple opportunities. And the average is also same, so it's 88%. And this time the standard deviation was a little bit higher, probably because it's more of a technical quiz than a general overview. But yes, we have this participation of 199, so that's what we aim for. So we assume that these 200 people will end up or will be finishing their final project. So then in the quiz 3, that is more on IoT sensors and infrastructure, 180 people participated, that is around 83%. And this quiz, as I can see it, also had similar performance in terms of average score. And people really did not, the score was not really basically spreading. It's either, let's say, 88 or 95 or 100. So it's not really spread like this in quiz 1 or quiz 2. It's more, the scores are more defined. And since there was not much spreading scores, the standard deviation was also very low. So that means people are mostly around 90%. So it was also a good performance also compared to last year. But one thing that is maybe need more attention is the quiz 4 that was on 3D printing basics. About 80% people participated. So when I'm talking about 80%, that means 80% of these 218 students who participated in quiz 1. So around 20% are still missing quiz 4. And as we already discussed, today is basically the hard deadline to finish off your quizzes, to finish off your peer reviews, and if you want to update your reports and so on. So it was also had similar scores like 86%, and it was fairly a small quiz, so people did it on average in 4 minutes. But then I was talking about peer review, and peer review basically was assigned for 156. That Frederick also mentioned in the beginning, that 156 people submitted their report or are assigned peer reviews. So all 3 of them are done by 144. That means majority of the people have done their peer reviews. There is no partial peer review, and that's a good news, but there are 12 people who haven't started your peer review yet. So I guess at this point, you are aiming for the second round grading people who did not start or finish their peer review. And there will be more coming up. So probably these 12 peer reviews that are missing. So these 12 people will be added in the next group, perhaps. So that was the summary on the quiz and on the peer review that we have. Yes.
Yes, that's great. While you talked, I checked the comments on Discord, and we've gotten some additional feedback. That's great. I got a tip that I should probably remove the batteries from my keyboard after I spilled coffee on it, but it seems to work. So, well, I might have gotten out lucky of that. And there are also some discussions about, and Eric, I see that you have answered as well, about it. We do want you all to stay in the Discord server. It's obviously a free choice if you want or not, but what we're trying to do is to build a sort of community as well. So let's say that you have your projects and you want to start on something in the fall. if we are many people in the server, you might, well, please use it, and we might collaborate on things and distribute some information and keep in touch. But you will all get the role of Alumn 2020. That's at least the role that we have used for the last year. And according for the notifications and such, I think that, well, Eric and probably Mohammed, maybe you have a good idea on how to make this so people that are staying in the channel won't get bogged down by like the student discussions unnecessarily. So
yeah, absolutely. Also, I think a better idea would be to have Alumn 2021 instead of so we can just change the current student 2021 to Alumn 20, change the name, and there you have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. And also in terms of notifications and such, I guess that the traffic will be going down slowly, so maybe it's not a problem until, let's say, April next year. Then we need to think about that. But instead of leaving the server because you think it's too much notifications, I would rather say that please try to. We'll obviously try to make a good plan on this, but instead try to mute the notifications that you're not interested in, and stay in the server. Yes. Anything more we want to add before we end, as this is the latest, the final sort of stream that we're doing?
A big shout out to all the students who participated. I mean, you are the guys who made it happen. Like, without you, there would be nothing happening.
Yeah, exactly. And I've the presentations that we had on I haven't gone through all the project tutorials. I will. So I can't say that I've seen every project just yet, but I must say that all the presentations that were on Monday until Wednesday now, I mean, I'm amazed. I'm really so fantastic work, really. In terms of complexity, I would say that many of the projects that are done in this course way above an introductory course in IoT. If you read the syllabus and if you look at the projects, there's a big gap in between, like in what's required and what's done, which is super fun, because that means that people are not doing this because they just want to get a grade and do it with as little effort as possible. Everyone is pitching, I would say, at least what I've seen, is pitching in a lot of extra work to do something because you want to learn and you actually want to do something interesting. So I think that's the greatest thing as far as I see it. Yeah, I think Eric's camera stopped or he's dropped out completely. Yes, but if there isn't anything more to add, maybe we should.
No, I think there is nothing I can say or remember now. But I want to thank everyone, including Jim and our teams and the students and Frederick, for managing this course well.
Yeah,
I agree. Thank you very much.
But okay, then everyone have a great weekend and have a great next semester in whatever university you're in or company you're starting at after the vacation. I do hope that you have learned a lot. We certainly have. And if you have anything, if you want to have any collaboration with us at Linnaeus University, I'm just saying there is a lot of stuff happening within IoT for small and medium-sized companies. We are starting a big project. So if you have anything that you think is worth collaborating with, please keep in touch. Drop me an email or ping me at Discord, and we can start talking because we have a lot of stuff happening. And also, if you, well, maybe that's it. But please keep in touch, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice evening.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.